It's the weekend. It's Mailbag. I am joined this week by Ed and Matt. As ever, loads of questions to get through, so we'll kick off with the hot topic. Quite obvious where this one's come from. What's the best freebie you've ever had? Ed, I'll come to you first.
Yeah, I was really thinking of this. I had a great freebie recently, which was so bizarre. I went to a wedding in Derbyshire. We were having a bit of an overnight in Chesterfield on the way there. We arrived at the hotel pretty late. We'd been busy all day. We got there about 9:30. And when we got to the desk, the receptionist was tapping away and then said to me, "Oh, well, good news. We've got our executive suite available. So I've given you a free upgrade." And I mean, that was utterly bizarre. We got in there. It was palatial. Absolutely ridiculous. And then we went out onto the balcony. And there was a hot tub and a sauna.
Whoa. That's some upgrade.
A sauna and a free minibar. So I'm thinking, look, like we're leaving 10 a.m. tomorrow morning to get to this wedding, and it's 10 o'clock now. I'm going to have to make the most of this. So I found myself at midnight on a Wednesday night in a sauna looking down on Chesterfield. And it's the weirdest feeling I've ever had in my entire life.
It's king of the world stuff, that, isn't it?
There was a little moments where I sat back and thought, "Oh, you know what? This is really relaxing." And then about 8 police cars went down the road.
Just before you got the upgrade, did you do that like typically British thing and be a bit like, I don't know, okay. Just a little hesitation as if you don't want to go in too hard, like. It's
a must, isn't it? Sort of a. Yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure? Of course they're sure. Yeah, but you have to. You have to play the game, yeah. And it was a weird night.
What was the hotel? In case anyone wants to book the.
It was called Casa Hotel in Chesterfield, and it's right on the motorway. So it's a really pretty hotel, which is very weird for the location it's in. I don't know if you've ever been to Chesterfield, but it's basically their weird church with the crooked spire, and their footy stadium, which is next to an absolutely gigantic Tesco.
I was going to ask, could you see the world's biggest Tesco from the hotel?
It's opposite the road. Yeah.
It's just...
on the same roundabout. Yeah.
It's unreal. Absolutely unreal. It's like the size of Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the motorway bends around it.
It has an entire subway inside it.
Crazy. There's me thinking Bidston's big. Matt?
I have to kind of think about this because I don't really get any freebies from work because we got a very strict ethics policy, unlike other organizations. So we don't give and we don't receive. But then it occurred to me, I'm fortunate to have some very good, very kind mates who run pubs and occasionally a brewery or give them some free tickets and stuff. And I got to go to the darts and watch the what's it called? Was it the Premier League?
Premier League.
Yeah, watch the Premier League darts in the arena. So I mean, it didn't turn out to be a freebie because probably spent about at least 3 figures on ale just on myself. But it's a pretty special thing.
Yeah, that's when you don't have to pay the entrance fee. I think mine was got tickets to England v the Netherlands. No, that was at Villa Park. England v somebody at Elland Road, but with all the hospitality thrown in. So I ended up getting a lift back into town off Chris Kamara because I've been sat on the table with him all night and stuff like that. just loads of old footballers knocking about.
If you could sum it up in one word, what would it be?
What, that freebie?
Yeah, sum it up in one word. Come on, I'm teeing you up here.
Say the line, Les.
Say the line.
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Was it unbelievable, Les?
Sorry, it was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
There's a line to be said, Les, but where is it? I don't know.
I don't know, Jeff. It's been a long week.
Should we stop recording and start again?
It feels like we should. Just on freebies, then the Denby Castle. Mike, you might know them. So best freebie, a box at Wolfsburg watching Everton actually win. Liam wants like £200 Tavern Revolution via LinkedIn. Tangled Up in Blues, World Cup in Germany, free ticket to see eventual champions Italy win a group match. Ben, the Blue Room content. Oh, Ben.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. He's not wrong. Stephen, not really freebie, but I won a signed pool cue many years ago. Suppose didn't pay for it. And Chris got 2 tickets to see the Stone Roses in a away competition back in 2016. Was off on holiday at the same time, so may or may not have sold them for profit. Who knows? Next question. Look at that. I didn't even put the ticker up for the hot topic. There's your hot topic if you're watching on YouTube. Next one from Matt. So this was to do with the gif of Michael Keane's goal against Crystal Palace. And basically, I didn't realise this either, but Holgate set it up with a really nice back-headed flick to tee up his volley. So Matt said, what's your favourite Everton assist? Matt, I'll come to you first on this.
This is actually also my favourite Everton goal, which is Leighton Baines at Man City with his right foot, when he does that mesmerising run, sort of the little 1-2 PNR, and I think it's Osman just sort of takes all of the sting off the ball and just lays it off, but he almost just cushions it, and it just sits there for a half second, and Baines just doesn't break stride, runs through right foot straight into the bottom corner. It's just
was that the one with the pink and black kit? The black and pink kit, was that one?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
For my favourite goal, I've got a terrible memory of it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Osman.
Yeah.
I feel like it was Osman. And then he runs off an I-5 Kale, maybe? But yeah, just halcyon days.
I get so wistful for that team. So wistful. Ed?
Yeah, I might have to add to your list because I think the first one that came to mind was naturally Osman versus Larissa and the PNR drag back for it, which was spectacular.
Yeah.
Another one that popped into my head was Fellaini for PNR in the 4-4 at Old Trafford, where he holds off his man, and it's so simple but so clever. Just a little reverse pass where he just changes direction, and the whole Man United defense goes the wrong way, and it's just brilliant watching PNR come in and score. I thought that was a great bit of skill.
Yeah, that was class. So underrated Fellaini in that regard, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did a few. I've seemed to remember him doing something similar at Fulham, set up Naismith for a goal. It was just like a really clever piece of play. It was good for that. Good touch for a big man.
He did. They had a lovely touch for a big fella. I think the first one that sprung to mind was Anders Limpar, his cross to Paul Rideout when we beat Chelsea 1-0 in '94, just an outside of the boot, just perfectly over the defence onto Rideout's head. So nice. Some more on these. Stephen said, can't remember who put the ball across, but the cross for Lukaku's winner at West Ham. Matt said it was Morales. Either that or Moise Keane's delivered an audacious assist for Walcott away at Watford. Spirit Blues, James Rodriguez to Richarlison to win a Castle Grayskull. Surely it should be Snake Mountain, shouldn't it? Because Castle Grayskull's where the goodies knocked about, I think.
No,
Snake Mountain was where Skeletor and that knocked about.
We could just call it the Hill of Piss, and then it's pretty clear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't they have to win back Castle Grayskull? I know this is your more era, but your era.
To be honest, I don't know who was in there, but I know Skeletor used to knock about on Snake Mountain, and I know He-Man did the Power of Grayskull shout.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah. Anyway, but we know what he means anyway. Yeah,
I found the video there. I couldn't be more wrong, to be honest. It was the 10-11 kit. The 10-11 kit, just the solid blue one. And it's actually Anachibi that he plays it with on the wing. Which is yeah.
Moyes had them running the channels then, yeah.
Sounds about right.
Clearly. Runs up the left wing, gives it Anachibi. Anachibi plays an absolutely perfect ball to the box, and KO just cushions it. And Baines just runs through right foot, and then he high fives Osman. That's where I had Osman.
They were all in there at some point.
Oh yeah, the dream team, the dream team of mediocrity. Remember them days?
Yeah. I was watching back the James Rodriguez assist the other day, and it's incredible how good that is, and how ludicrously simple he makes it look. The taking the ball out of the air, and the utterly precise pass to Richarlison, where a yard either way and it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
It's
It's almost like it's as close as you can get as grabbing it with your foot. It's like he's plucked it out the air and put it down, but with his foot. Incredible.
I don't know if you mentioned it in the replies there, Les, but an old time has got to be Andy Gray against Bayern Munich. The spin. Trevor Steven.
It's not. Yeah, it's not in there actually, but yeah, what a shout. There's a few from the 80s though. So Andrew said after Bracewell to Stephen, which has to be the answer. That was Sunderland. Then Sheedy to Heath v Norwich in the 1987 Championship season. Also special mention to Sharp to Heath v Aston Villa, 84-85 to seal a comeback win. Yags D said Paul Bracewell, Sunderland 85. That's the one just mentioned, the volley over his shoulder. Paul Bracewell, Chef went semi, 86. That's for the winner. It's a little lofted crossover. It's lovely. And I'd completely forgotten about this, but Peter Reid's pass to Lineker in the 86 Cup final is incredible. It's so good. Just dips over the defender right into his path. Toffee's online said Ablett to Amakachi. And Steve said Terry Curran versus Luton. I don't remember that. I know his goal, Terry Curran's goal. I don't know his assist, though.
I don't think Terry Curran remembers that one.
Probably not.
No. Shandy van der Meijden to Goslin.
Oh, God, yeah.
7 shy plays in the box, and he puts it on his toe.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Incredible. He was right on the byline as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was.
You know.
Yeah.
It
was really right to the byline, had to cut it back, yeah. You think the number of cans he'd had before the game as well is even more impressive.
I mean, this could be one going on the last thing we just said, but I doubt it. Liam Fitz has asked favourite player who hardly ever got a game. I don't think Van der Meijden was anyone's favourite, was he? To be honest,
Jake O'Brien. Apparently the best defender of all time, if you believe Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got a galoot that big, you've got to play him though. For me,
I didn't know against Southampton, did it? His time will come. His time will come.
That's what I was thinking actually about that game when I was saying, get Jake O'Brien because he'll cut out those headers, and then I suddenly thought back to like Southampton, and he didn't. So, well, never mind. I think the first one that came to mind for me here was Matteo Ferrari. I thought he was so good. And his time was cut short by injury.
Yeah.
Just played 8 games. Sadly.
You've got a few, haven't you? Like, players we've had to let go. Robinson at Fulham now. Just back of the queue, back of a long queue. Like, would have been lovely to keep him. Would have been a problem solved, but
isn't it mad how we've now got a complete dearth of left backs when for years, like at least a decade, we just had a solid line of like it was mainly Baines, but then we had players behind that. So it was just really hard to get into. It wouldn't be hard to get in at left back now, I don't think.
Yeah, Luke Garbutt would be straight in, wouldn't he, nowadays? If you remember him.
Who?
I'm sure he's your testimonial,
What's that?
I need to check. I'm sure he's your testimonial, Luke Garbutt.
Big Mick Kegger is, I think, isn't he?
Getting there, isn't he?
He could have got to be due one soon.
No, I wouldn't think so.
2015, wasn't it? Or 16?
16, 17, maybe.
16, I think, was it? Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, Holgate's on 9 seasons.
Oh my God.
Mason Holgate is our second longest serving player.
Crazy. The new John Stones. That was. Ed, any players who very rarely got a game, wish they played more? Lucina Traore, maybe?
Well, it'd be nice to have seen him maybe 2 or 3 times. I'm genuinely struggling here. Like, nothing is springing to mind. I mean, we only got to see 1 season of Dennis Stracqualursi, which was a real shame.
Who always have Chelsea.
Well, yeah, exactly. No, you might have to come back to me because I'm genuinely grasping. I feel like we give any idiot a chance.
True. Yeah.
You forgot the ticker again, Les.
Oh God, do you know what? it has been a long week. So if you're watching on YouTube, here's the question: your favourite player while they ever get a game. Moving on to one from the Denby. It's on the ticker. If you could hack Everton's Wi-Fi, what message would you put on the screens?
Don't know. Remain calm.
Maybe just like when the fun stops, stop.
Boo ends,
Yeah,
maybe.
always. Yeah, just some sort of public support message. If you're too angry and upset, go and take up gardening or something like that. There's a few people around me I think would benefit from that.
But you know they're the sort of people who definitely stand on a rake. First thing they did, gardening.
Yeah.
Set them right off, 100%. Yeah, and maybe just something disparaging about the away fans every game.
That's a great idea. I like that.
I quite like the idea of that.
Or just something just to rile them up. Like Crystal Palace just put Ian Wright wasn't actually that good.
Bright and sound.
Yeah. Where is Croydon anyway? That sort of thing.
I tell you what, right, just to flip this.
Stormzy as MF.
Imagine the shite they come up with over at Piss Hill for this. If they put like a legend up on the screen, it'd be as bad as the banners they get, wouldn't it?
Well, famously, they haven't got a screen.
They haven't, have they?
No, they refuse to have one.
Yeah, loft extension, but no telly.
You could always just stick them on a flag, couldn't they? They love the flags. There he goes, the other way.
You do. Liam has asked, have you ever done a starmer and mixed up words at a crucial point?
No, because I'm not an idiot.
I have called a girl an ex's name, which wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't at any point like
right.
that.
Okay.
It was just in conversation, like speaking to someone else while she was there, and I said, "Oh, me and are going." Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
That's...
I wouldn't recommend it.
I'll bear it in mind. I can't think of anything major. I got it wrong, but the person doing my wedding ceremony got my name wrong. I don't know if that recalls that. They called me by my middle name. So luckily they did end up correcting themselves. But otherwise that was we almost got into non-legally binding territory there.
At least it wasn't sharp.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't call me sausages or anything either, so that's fine.
I think I must have watched that clip back like about 20 odd times, and it doesn't get any less funny. It's just it's the pause and the way he corrects himself and everything.
It's the way he says the word as well. It's like if a dog became human. That is how they would say the word sausages.
It absolutely is. Incredible scene. Ben has said he's so confused that Ed Sheeran, not McCosh,
Ticker,
which is Kits. Ben, it's because he's from Ipswich. Ticker. Oh, hang on. God, do you know what?
Is it broken?
No, I am. Hang on. I haven't even put that question up in the tickers. So, I'll just take the ticker off for a minute.
At this point, you should just go off and just have like a cartoon, technical difficulties.
I think so, yeah. Definitely like a big picture of Ben and Stimpy or something. Yeah, so Ben has asked anyway. So Ben, the confusion is he's from Ipswich. I think that's as deep as it goes. Which artist band would you like to see sponsor us when we bin steak? Kneecap.
Oh, the Ed Sheeran thing. Kneecap, good. It's like just stick a bally in the home kit.
Imagine.
I mean, they banned snoods, but if they banned balaclavas,
it's a shout actually. Imagine a player coming on the pitch in a bally.
James McLean.
that'd be quite good.
That would be incredible, to be fair.
see, if this was last season where we were getting all those 1-0 clean sheets, we could have had a new slogan. We only have to score once, you have to score every time. But it doesn't apply no more, does it?
Nope.
Yeah, like a band on a shirt. I'm quite an enjoyer of heavy metal festivals, and it's hilarious how half the bands on there, you cannot tell what their name is because
of the typeface, or
it's extremely heavy gothic text, and it's all like. So I'd have one of them on the shirt, and just everyone turns up going, "What the hell is that?"
That's okay then. What like what's the most inappropriate goth band name you know that could be on a football shirt?
Dying Fetus.
Good grief. Didn't even hesitate.
Or Cradle of Filth. In fact, I like
Great
Cradle
ones.
of Filth. That'd be really good.
Cradle
Are they
of
still
Filth,
going?
They're still alive.
Are they Norwegian? They're
Uh,
Scandi, aren't they?
you're testing me? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
They're always Finnish. They're always Finnish.
Yeah, we'll go with that though. Yeah, some really
Oh, no.
inappropriate.
They're from Suffolk.
Are they?
Yeah.
Right. Oh well.
Same as Ed Sheeran. It's all
yeah,
part of the point.
yeah, we wouldn't have them. They go for Ipswich. We can't win. We can't win anything these days, can we?
Just end it now.
The main fella's called Danny Filth. That can't be his real name. Oh yeah, his name's Daniel Davey. Danny Filth. 51. Grow
So
up,
it's his
man.
cradle.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. So he could have been called Danny's Cradle, but Cradle of Filth sounds more goth.
It's 51 now.
Yes.
Honestly.
Never saw the conversation taking this turn. I'm not gonna lie.
Danny Filth. I think he was just going for like a Sid Vicious kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
He was famously once annoyed by Freddie Mercury calling him. It was something like Sebastian. What was it, like something mad, like Sebastian angry or something like that?
Yeah. I'll have a look now. And we'll move on to the next question, but I'll get that up now. The next question, and it may or may not be on the ticker.
Simon Ferocious.
Simon Ferocious.
And he kicked off and he said, "What are you going to do about it?"
Makes him sound like he's in the Beano. I love it.
He said the Sid Vicious.
Ferocious. Best thing Freddie Mercury ever did because of music shite.
Oh. Moving swiftly on.
We're going to fall
out. Warren has asked, and it's on the ticker if you want to read it. What is a sport moment you have celebrated the most that isn't Everton, but you had the same joy as if it was Everton? I don't think I've ever gone that far with another sport thing myself.
No.
Or just one.
It's a great question. I think I do think I've had moments, not in football. To be clear, I don't think anything can match up, but in other sports, definitely. I think the big one for me, and for any cricket fan really, in England anyway, would be when England won the ODI World Cup, 2019 at Lords. There'd been so much failure, and it didn't seem like it was going to happen, and it all came about in the most ridiculous circumstance. Obviously, going right down to a super over, which is, extra time and penalties for cricket. And to go down right to the wire of England just to win it by, you're talking about 2 feet, the difference between winning and losing. And I went nuts. And my wife, Shan, did have to tell me to pipe down. I was like dancing around the house. It was great.
I hope she actually said pipe down as well.
She wasn't having it. I don't know why. But yeah, there's that, I think. And any golf fans as well, I think, would agree the miracle in Medina is the Ryder Cup win in America, where Europe were dead, and then to come back from that, not only doing that and winning from the most ridiculous situation, but absolutely piping down the Yanks, who were the biggest collection of arseholes ever assembled in organised sport. It was
even worse than any Australian team.
Yeah, okay, maybe they match up, but it was Phil Mickelson alone was enough to make me happy.
What was the turning point in that? Was the one thing that happened that kind of turned it on its head?
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Ryder Cup, they start with the pairs events, the 4 balls and the foursomes, and the Americans had got into a pretty significant lead, and then on the second day of I think it's 4 balls. It was basically turned around by Ian Poulter, who unfortunately is a massive Tory. But he was giving it large, and I think everyone in the Europe camp was sort of going, "Yeah, we can do this. This is amazing." And then the last day of the Ryder Cup is just all singles, just a bunch of singles matches. So you're watching something going on one hole and something going on another, and it was just this creeping feeling like something's happening here. Like you could feel it. It was visceral. So when that dropped, it's one of those things where if you don't like golf, you just go, I mean, God, it's golf. It's boring. But when you're sort of in that bubble, I went nuts. I really did. That was maybe near Everton levels of euphoria.
Good stuff. Yeah, see, I wish I could get that kind of level from anything else, but I can barely get it from Everton. Oh, 1989, 2-0 Arsenal at Anfield. There we go.
Nice. Yes.
That was non-Everton. Matt?
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, Everton's obviously the only one that really gets me fully energized. I did love those, especially the Cricket World Cup. I remember my sister and my nephew just happened to be popping in, and I was like, okay, hang on, I'm just going to watch the end of this. And neither of them had a clue what was going on until I was like picking up my nephew and spinning him around my living room like a plane. And even then, he didn't really understand what was going on. But I think it was said in the replies, it's technically like half Everton, isn't it? The Bellew fight at Goodison. Like, that was unreal to be there. And looking back, a completely ridiculous night, especially afterwards on County Road, because he did the business and gave us a good few hours of bevying time, and it was just carnage. I mean, there was carnage in the place, being able to drink in the stands, and then like everyone basically had to chuck down 3 pints of lager down the neck after the fight because it only went 2-3 rounds. So people were like just getting onto the second pint. Everyone was getting on the tray of 4, and then it's over, and you're like, shit, gotta get the booze out. And County Road looked like the start of Saving Private Ryan. There was just bodies in the road. Honestly, like they say, them riots the other month were bad for County Road. Like this was like a million times worse. It looked like a war zone. It was fantastic. I think maybe Dad didn't leave the what was the one up the road towards town on the left? It was shut for a few years, but it's open again. Little boozer.
Springfield.
Yes, Springfield. Maybe Dad didn't leave there till about 2:30 in the morning. Like,
can't even imagine what that
licensed hours did not apply that night.
Yeah, it's what we want, isn't it? Tangled Up in Blues. What's something you thought would be brilliant but turned out to be a huge letdown? I mean, there's one obvious answer for me.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Quite a lot of things, to be honest.
I asked Shan, and she immediately went, life.
At least you didn't say marriage.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. Yeah, I feel good about that. I'd say probably for me, living in and around London is Shan got a job in London, and we thought, oh, that'll be great. You know, loads of stuff you can do of a weekend. It's the capital city. It'd be pretty cool living there, being able to just nip into London and stuff. And it was awful. Like, bearing in mind, we didn't live in London. We lived in the sticks. Traveling in there was a pain in the ass and was too expensive for us. And it was crowded and the people were horrible. But apart from that, great.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, talk about places that sort of let you down. I was working in Oxfordshire earlier this year, and it's in Abingdon, and I was quite excited. Like, pretty small, like home counties, town, village. I was like, okay, should be a couple of good boozers here, some decent real ale. And I must have gone to every single pub in there over the week, and it was just awful. It's just like a desert of good ale. Like the worst pint I had was in like the best pub, which has got like all sorts of national awards, and it was awful. And the best pint I had was the one where I went in, and there was 3 fellas stood at the bar in dirty high-vis gear ordering a Chinese takeaway with the barmaid to be delivered to the pub. And I was like, yes. And pristine real ale in there. But yeah, I was very, very let down by that.
Yeah, do you know, I think if we're looking at places, they might Newcastle. Went for a stag do there and just had the worst night ever. It was crap. Everywhere was just a bit rubbish. Yeah, I don't know if we just had a bad night out in Newcastle, but it just seemed a bit crap. We ended up on that boat in Gateshead, like the party boat, which is dead weird. and we were in a club called Icon with a K.
Oh,
as
the
well.
one that's in Our Friends in the North.
Oh, I haven't seen it. If it's a party boat in Gateshead, then yeah.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
I had a revolving dance floor and he played S Club 7, which was quite good. But
Revolving
apart
dance.
from that, the night was a washout. Oh, we went to one club as well, like as I said, called Icon with a K. And my mate had a hoop jumper on. And bear in mind, this is in Newcastle. The bouncer said to him, "Sorry, lad, no striped tops." Now, it was hooped anyway, but no striped tops in Newcastle. Seems a bit wrong to me.
Oh, hoops not stripes.
Yeah, so, yeah, that wasn't great. Got 6 questions from Maggie. Political soap festival. Anyone want to take this on?
Hot topic, innit? Hot topic.
Pretty much.
Well, this is a footy podcast. Let's focus on the footy element of it. Like, the man, I'm not even going to say his name. I'm just going to call him Two-Face because he is Harvey Dent from Batman. He started off as a prosecutor, tried to be a hero, ended up becoming a villain. And he's a two-faced bastard. I don't think he's paid for a footy ticket in about 4 years. Like, if you look at his register of interest, every single week he's got hospo on someone else. Most of the time, it's football-related people. And it's tickets to Taylor Swift were paid for by the Premier League. Now, do we really
been on top of it.
Is this man really going to push through the independent regulator? I don't think he is. I really don't think he is. It just stinks. And
yeah,
I don't care if they obeyed the rules by putting it in the bribery index or whatever they call it. Like, that's not the point, is it? If you're explaining, you're losing, as Reagan said. Like, and they're having to explain why it's all right that they're getting suits paid for by millionaire donors. Like, why a hedge fund gave them 5 million quid, and then someone who's on the board of one of their subsidiaries. This is a hedge fund, by the way, that invests in fossil fuels. One of their people is now the UK's climate envoy to the UN. It's like, everyone can see what's going on. It's very, very, very blatant, and it doesn't take a newspaper investigation to expose it. People have been talking about this for years, but only now have they noticed because they were too busy talking about who's eating French fancies in a garden during COVID or what wallpaper's being paid for by you. It's just like...
I think even on a very, very basic level, what annoys me is if you work in the civil service, you can't even get your like Christmas party paid for. You can't get anything.
Yep.
You know, you're not. You know, you've got to pay for your own Christmas party. You can't even get a drink on the company, essentially. And yet, the high of civil service, you go, it's like.
My dad's a civil servant, and he was once called into question because he'd set up a tuck shop for his office mates, and he had to assure them he was buying all of his own Kit Kats.
So, £1,000 footy tickets, fine.
Which is amazing.
Kit Kats, not so much. It's about the size.
Exactly. Yeah, it seems fair. Yeah. I don't get why politicians need to accept these gifts or should be able to accept these gifts. They're well paid enough. You know they'll get enough fancy gigs once they leave the role. I was thinking about this, and I think my ideal politician is the former Uruguayan president, a fellow called Jose Mujica, who was a former revolutionary who was also a farmer. And when he became president of Uruguay, he decided to take an average civil servant wage, and to save taxpayers' money, he lived on his farm for his entire presidency. He didn't claim any expenses. He just operated out of his farm. And then when he was done, he had saved Uruguay a bunch of money.
And when was he deposed in a coup then? That's what happens, isn't it? Anyone?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you look at that, okay. Sorry, Ed.
I don't understand why, as a country, we look askance at people who don't do these things. You know, Jeremy Corbyn being a clear example. And sort of saying, why are you not taking these freebies?
Wasn't his? Didn't he spend about £8 on an ink cartridge, and that's it?
Yeah.
His expenses, I think it was. I think I read the other day. But the story there would have been, you can get in courses for £4. Who are you trying to rip off here, Corbin? That's what the story would have been, wouldn't it?
I bet it
Yeah,
was a
definitely.
Reading
Should he
cartridge
resign?
as well. Just one final addendum to all that.
Go ahead.
Let's just never forget that this person, Two-Face, is someone who literally has a act of parliament with his name on it, which guarantees him to a tax-free pension for life from his previous job. There's literally on vellum in the Houses of Parliament, there is a law with his name, Pensions Act 2015.
Jesus.
But he needs all these freebies. He needs them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's probably only on about 200 grand a year, isn't it?
This kid needs to sit in a penthouse for 2 weeks doing his GCSEs.
Was that him or was that his kid? It's unclear.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah,
his kid, and then he said it was him.
His kid.
So.
I think we just need to go in and see how many Knox canisters are on the floor.
Maggie's second question. Your favourite fictional character who was just a little guy? Rigby off regular show for me, if anyone knows that.
Just a little guy. I've just started watching The Bear. Finally, he's a little guy, isn't he?
He is a little guy. Probably bigger than me, but he's a little guy.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's a little guy to me, but...
That's true. You got one?
Just a little guy, Tim Cale.
He's not fictional.
He's a pretty little guy. Is he not?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
No.
He happened. He did, yeah. I can't think of anybody. I don't see
Rigby off regular show then. I can
Okay.
I can 100% recommend regular show. It's from like the Great Days Cartoon Network. Who could you look at that? There you go. Ticker 3. Who could you cling film to a lamppost more, John Textor or Dan Friedkin?
Textor, definitely, because he wouldn't shut up, so he'd be able to sneak up on him.
Be on a skateboard though. Be a fucker to catch, I think.
It's
yeah,
easier
but
than
Friedkin's in a plane. Yeah.
This is true. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd prefer to cling film John Textor. When will Goodison? Whoa, there we go. I'm on a roll here. When will Goodison or Bramley-Moore Dock start selling Cherry Coke, aka Best Coke? Best Coke? I think so.
I don't really drink Coke, so no, lime. Lime's my favourite one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ed, any thoughts on this?
Cherry is superb. I mean, if they
Cherry
could set up
Pepsi's
one of those
better, though.
machines, you get in like Five Guys where you can get all of them. That would work nicely.
Oh yeah.
They're always empty.
Yeah,
that would be a touch.
Not in my experience. I think they're pretty good. I'm hoping for some high tech solutions from the Bramley-Moore Dock catering.
Who?
I mean, they were talking about the.
That's right. Go on, keep going, Ed. Sorry.
Sorry, Les. I was going to say there was some talk about self-service pints, wasn't there, in Bramley-Moore?
They've got that at the fan zone.
Is that really?
Yeah, they've got that at the fan zone by the park end.
That seems scary to me.
Ooh.
I'm never in the fan zone. I'm always getting to the ground about 10 to.
Yeah. I did see that they had them in the fan zone at Anfield.
What's that one?
Right.
I saw that they got them in that new fan zone at Anfield that looks like that Willy Wonka experience.
It's so good, that, isn't it?
Spectacular.
It's just bleak.
It's not even painted the walls. It's great.
It's just complete contempt, isn't it? It's just like, oh, that'll do. You don't care anyway. Who in the Everton squad would you most like to have as a Tamagotchi?
Mikalenko.
Oh, Mikalenko. Yeah, he'd be easy to manage, wouldn't he?
Yeah, until he gets the sniffles.
Poor kid.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't have the yak because you're constantly trying to feed him. Hey.
Oh, there we go.
Hey. I'll go with Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil is just constantly on the move.
Yeah. I don't know why I picked Jordan Pickford. He's just the default answer to everything. Last one. Describe an hello. Oh, this I've done this one wrong. It's going well tonight. So this question for people on YouTube isn't on the ticket. It's just come up as a banner instead. Describe an Everton player and also assign them a WWE walkout song.
Ooh.
When you say describe, do you have to give them some sort of nickname or like
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's what it could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that first bit means. I mean, Dwight McNeil's writes itself, doesn't it? You just play a song as a Sylvester song.
Yeah,
That's pretty
absolutely.
good. Pickford, I mean, I don't know, some kind of techno or house. I could have sounded older when I said that, but
Keenan Tarkovsky
Michael,
saves them this season would have to be Demolition. It has to be one for the older WWE fans there. When it was WWE,
I was thinking
no animal.
I was thinking circus music, but that'll do.
Imagine if we go through the whole squad and see if we get one for each other. Coleman's, you don't want to stretch too far into like stereotypes, do you?
I mean, there is a wrestler called Sheamus, though, isn't there? I think so.
Wasn't there a dwarf wrestler? Oh no, Hornswoggle, was that the dwarf one? There was like an Irish dwarf who was like a leprechaun character.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Actually, Hornswoggle.
No, I mean the pose is a bit obvious and Dublin's a bit obvious. Probably saw by Fontaine's.
We're going to see them next year.
Televised Mind would be a good walk-on song because it lends itself to like a good light show.
Yeah. We'll move on to Ben's question.
And then Beto coming off the bench, it'd just be let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor. And then
Beto's
Sean's trying to his little wave. Yeah.
Ben. Sorry, Maggie's question's gone now. Ben is on the ticker. Who's the most overrated player in the Premier League at the moment? Who's the most overrated manager? Oh, Matt, you look ready for this.
Declan Rice. All day, the most overrated player. All day. You could take him out that Arsenal team and put any one of 10 other players in the league who plays position, and they still be as good. I don't see it at all.
Can't really argue with that, to be honest. Premier League managers, or have you got another player?
I'm struggling on players. Managers, I feel like I've got a list.
What?
Yeah, most of them, to be honest. Postecoglou's right up there, isn't he?
Oh God, yeah.
He's all vibes. I can't quite understand it. Like, I was not one of the people who wanted him to fail. I think it was good that Spurs went for someone a bit left field and not necessarily just a big name. But I still don't understand what he has other than vibes. He just sort of says, "Go on, lads. Don't worry about things like shape and tactics and defending."
Eddie Howe.
Exactly. And I hate the staring at the floor thing he does in interviews.
Yeah, that is annoying. Eddie Howe, is he overrated?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He spends an absolute fortune and got them to 4th place in a season when like 3 or 4 teams died on their ass, and then since then, when a couple of them have come back, they're just nowhere. Like considering what Villa have done in the same time, with
a decent manager,
decent director of football, decent sales and stuff, spent a lot of money, but like they haven't paid for it with, dodgy sleeve sponsors and that. They've actually had to duck and dive and let players go who they'd rather keep to stay under the PSR line. But yeah, Eddie Howe's just no. I don't know if he's overrated, but your man at West Ham, I don't know if people rate him highly. But, I just can't have him at all. Like I think I said in our preview show that West Ham are going to be crap this season because he's just
Yeah.
It's just not much to it at all, to be honest.
I didn't even know who Southampton's manager was. I've just seen it's Russell Martin, and I still don't know who Southampton's manager is.
No. I thought for the first until we played them, I thought he was the fella with the long hair, but he's not. So I've got a clue now.
He used to play for Norwich when they were
Right.
around in 2014. Centre back. I do want to say for the record, given in like the Van Volswinkel game and stuff like that, he was playing.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that when he was around? Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. For the record, I'd like to say Crystal Palace, definitely no overrated. I really respect them. I definitely don't think Mateta's a flash in the pan. Just in case I'm jinxing anything for tomorrow, I think they're all brilliant. No further questions.
Now, I did say very early on in the season that this would be the game where neither team has won and one of them will win. This Palace game, Palace Everton. It was just nailed on. I think it was after Brighton. It just felt nailed on that neither of us would win up until this point. So I'm fully expecting both teams to somehow lose. Because if any two teams could lose a game, they're playing it against each other, it will be Everton and Palace.
Yeah. I think Palace would be my overrated team based on pre-season predictions. Because a lot of predictions were made based on a hot streak they had over about 4 or 5 weeks. And everyone was saying, oh, it's Europe for them. It's Europe for them this season, which is crazy. Because I think they've got a handful of players.
But losing Elise was massive for them, I think, wasn't it?
Huge. And Anderson at the back, I think.
Yeah.
They've got some very, very good players papering over some very ropey ones.
Yeah, true.
Which sounds familiar.
What a luxury that would be. Laura, I mean, a quick answer to this, I think. Laura's asked, who's the least threatening between Paddington Bear and Yogi Bear? I reckon I'll go back to them both at once, but Paddington.
Yogi, I'm saying, gentleman thief.
True.
You know, Paddington came out of the jungles of Peru. He's seen things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Paddington's
he's sort of been reinvented as he's being reinvented as the Grim Reaper now, which makes him very ominous. You always see these memes of leading people off into the sunset, aren't you? I've started to associate him with death.
Paddington, Yogi Bear is then, defo. Boo Boo's annoying as well. I always hated like the little side characters they had, like Scrappy Doo for Scooby Doo, Godzilla for Godzilla, Boo Boo for Yogi. Oh, just terrible.
Yeah, the side character for Scooby Doo wasn't Scrappy Doo. It was the stoner, wasn't it?
Shaggy. I just mean like there's always like a little character involved, isn't
there?
Yeah.
So
yeah. What was the one in Top Cat? Boo Boo.
There's always a little passive. There's always.
There was Boo Boo. Benny was the little blue one. Boo Boo was one as well. Cheech.
Yeah.
He was the cool one with the roll neck. Cheech.
Yeah. Sammy Lee.
Benny.
Long history, little pains alongside Big Man.
Right, we'll do one more before we go, and then anyone we've missed, as I do every week, I'll promise to do it next week, and then probably won't, but I'll try. We'll go to... I'll tell you what, we'll go to Sean Dyche's biggest fan, Dan Bain. Dyche reckons he's got tales about his time at Everton. What will the name of his autobiography be? Nil sat his jaw off to him, gravel grout and being shite, Gaffer's day and my tactical... Not spam on the Burnleyisation of Everton. Stephen said confessions of a gravel merchant. There's been quite a few on Twitter on this. Mine's Dyche with relegation. It's got to be.
I don't know. It'd be something along the lines of none of it was my fault or something, wouldn't it? Like, I'm still on his side, but it's getting quite funny now. I think he's doing it on purpose just to annoy people.
Yeah,
he knows his job. I'm a big fan of it.
I think he would write it as a thriller and call it the Sean Ultimatum.
Very good, very good.
We'll finish on that bombshell then, lads. That's been this week's mailbag. Thanks to everyone who sent questions in. Thanks to Matt. Thanks to Ed. We will catch you next time on Mailbag. Up the toffees.